Hi, I'm Christina, and this is New Wayz podcast. Welcome back, everybody. I am incredibly excited for this season to come, and it has been I don't even know how long. It's been like 3 or 4 months, but I've been missing this. I love to yap. I love the studio. I love my guests, and I'm just super excited and blessed to be doing this. So thank you guys for listening, and I can't wait in this episode to share with you what's coming forward with New Wayz, as well as a little lesson that I've learned throughout trying to actually shoot this first episode. The lesson that I learned was kind of how to move forward with your dreams when things are changing in ways you didn't expect, and how to honestly just realize that nothing's actually a loss. It's just a redirection. It's all about your outlook. That's kind of what we're going to be talking about today, is despite resistance and despite change, you leveling up and still doing what you want to do because you love doing it. So let's kind of get started. Obviously, there's a lot of things that have changed since even the beginning of last season. Last season was our first season. I was with Matt, and we were still very much in the baby stages, learning how to do things. And it's funny now that I'm doing it by myself and I'm kind of moving things around and taking a different direction. I'm still learning how to do things. The learning never stops, you guys. It doesn't. Sometimes I'm like, I wish it did, but I am so happy it doesn't still at the same time. I digress. This season, Matt is not here with us. You might see him appear as a guest in maybe a few episodes. Who knows what the future holds? I haven't planned that far. We're just going with the flow. But Matt is on to still great things. There is no hard feelings at all. He is still one of my dearest and best friends, and I love him deeply, but I respect him so much for this even. This podcast originally was my idea, and he did think it would be super fun, and it was. We've had a blast, and our relationship has flourished throughout it, and we've grown so much. But towards the end, he could tell that he was feeling drained. He had to take a inventory check on what's kind of going on with him and decide what's best for him. We are two different people. We love two different things, and he felt like his energy needed to go somewhere else and not into this podcast. And by all means, I was super happy to support him, as well as kind of excited. Yeah, it's a little scary starting to do something by yourself that you started with somebody else, but I was excited to see where his energy went with the new thing that he's going on. I just want to see all my friends grow and flourish, and I'm excited to step into this new journey of my life as well. And one thing we learned too is it's funny because a lot of times people teeter away from hard conversations, and us talking about how to move forward with the podcast after our first season, we both thought it was going to be such a difficult conversation, because even if things seem like they're going okay, a lot of times I feel like I feel like when somebody's checking out. I feel like when a change is about to happen internally. I could feel it. And after a month or two break away, we decided to just focus on other things, relax, take a break, because you do need breaks from things even if you love them. We had a meeting and we're like, so I was the one who definitely want to move forward. And during this meeting, this conversation, Matt expressed to me, he was like, I was so scared to talk to you about this because yes, I support you. I want you to move forward, especially if you love this, but I'm okay right now. And he was so nervous to tell me how he felt about walking away. And in my mind too, don't get me wrong, like I would still love to be doing this with my friend, but throughout those 2 months, I kind of knew. And in my head, I was thinking in new creative ways I can take the podcast and new creative ways that I can show up for myself as well as you guys and have fun with this and be more myself. Because when you are, I don't know about you, but when you're around people, I love to adapt to people. And I'm like, now it's just me. Who knows how this is going to go? And I started getting, definitely fearful and anxious. And I still am, even here doing I wish I could say this is my first solo, but I tried to do this last week. And, learning curve. So technically second. But when we were talking, I'm like, Matt, I kind of saw this coming. And to be honest with you, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because reflecting on things towards the end, I knew he wasn't in it. And you can feel energy when two people are not equally involved in something or equally as passionate about something, I feel like it suffers. Like, I felt like I was putting in more work than him, and he knows this. I feel sorry, man, if you didn't. I think he does know this. I felt like I was being more present, and it was draining for me trying to keep up the energy that he was lacking towards the end. So at the same time, I'm like, yeah, this you thought this was going to be a difficult conversation. I even thought it might have been difficult because I'm like, what if he does want to come back? And then we have to have the conversation of, hey, I felt the shift. And it's weird because no, it's like a sad, bittersweet ending. But I was like, it felt like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders by both of us just being honest about where we were at. Because in reality, if he did want to come back for fear of upsetting me or hurting my feelings, either way, it was going to be bad because I would have felt resentful. I would have been like, why are you here doing this when I know you're not in it? What's going on? Why do I feel like I'm putting in more energy than you? By us both being honest and open and having the difficult conversation to begin with, both of us allowed for us to move on with our lives. We didn't reminisce on the past. We weren't also causing more chaos in the future. And that's the thing is when you avoid difficult problems, I've realized, especially in business, any walks of life, relationships, anything, when you avoid difficult conversations, it causes more problems, which is only going to cause more difficult, awkward conversations in the long run. There's no running away from the difficult conversation. It's just you get to kind of choose how long you want to live in this uncomfortableness, in this difficultness, and you get to decide actually the severity of things, because usually the more you avoid things, the worse it gets. So that was one lesson that I learned too throughout this. There's a bunch more that we're going to go into later, like I said, about like doing things alone and nothing's ever really a loss. But that's kind of where we're at is I love Matt dearly. I'm moving forward with this podcast and I'm excited. After I've accepted that this is just going to be me now, I started to think, how do I want to move forward in the most authentic way for me and most beneficial and educational for you guys, I guess, while still having fun, because that's what I love about what I do in every aspect of my life is like I aim to help educate and bring awareness. I love mental health, spirituality, physical health, and I'm like, how can I have fun with it though? Because I don't like when things are always so serious, especially too. I'm trying to make this more appealing for you guys. And I will admit too, like I said, energy to me is a big thing. When I was with Matt, I picked up his energy, which is a little bit more conservative. You guys are going to find out very quickly that I'm a little delulu and a little crazy. Not necessarily, I don't really believe that, but to a lot of people, I'm extra. And this upcoming season, instead of interviewing like I previously was, I want real, raw, honest conversations. It's going to be a kind of interviewee where I do ask people questions, but I encourage my guests to ask questions back and have a free-flowing, open, honest conversation where, like, I might even challenge their beliefs and they can challenge mine, which is okay. It's okay to have different beliefs as long as it's not coming from a judgmental area and you guys genuinely are just curious. And that's what I feel like a lot of us can learn from this upcoming season is like, we can have different viewpoints and still be friends and still communicate openly about this. And that's what I want to express. I want to be, for lack of term, more out of pocket, more just saying the things that I could have even been previously scared to say before because it's rocking the boat. And I'll be honest with you, Matt didn't really love to rock the boat too much, which is fine. That's his personality. It's not mine. I love challenging people's thought processes. I love challenging people's beliefs, not because I want them to believe my thing, but I'm like, let's grow together. Let's kill the things that are no longer serving us. So this upcoming season, I'm just looking for more real, raw, authentic conversations. And I just want to be more myself. Love or hate me, you guys. This is kind of just what it is. And I'm happy you are on the journey with me. As well as you can see, I am not in the studio right now, and I'm super excited for this. It's definitely a learning curve moving forward, setting up this at-home studio thing that I kind of have going. My dear friend Will has been helping me so much, and I feel blessed. He is such a great soul and is helping me set this up. But once again, still learning. It's been crazy. I just thought now that I can do solo episodes because I don't have Matt there with me, I don't need dual camera, dual mic. Why not do it from the comfort of my own home? A lot of times for me, inspiration comes up at the most random moments and through the most difficult experiences. So why not just jump on a mic and give you the most real, raw version in the moment? So you'll be seeing a lot more at-home episodes, as well as I will be bringing guests to the studio because it is easier And it's just fun being there too. The energy when you're like in a professional setting, it's a vibe. So that's kind of what you're going to be getting this upcoming season, you guys. I'm super excited for this shift and I'm curious to see how you respond. Now down to my kind of lesson, because with me, everything has to have a purpose and a meaning behind it. And the one thing, not one thing, like I said, there's been a bunch of things I just talked about, but something that has came to light in this new process is if you are very, very passionate about something, if you love something, do not let obstacles get in your way from doing it, please. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about right now is I'm so grateful for the way things started with this podcast. And did anything ever, nothing's linear, you guys. Nothing is ever really going to go how you expect it to go. Sometimes it does, a lot of times it doesn't. And hopefully you can agree with that because that's just been something in my life. And I am so forever grateful for starting this podcast with Matt because he came in. I'm also a firm believer that things come into your life at the right time. And instead of looking at it as a win or a loss, just going with the flow and seeing what it has to offer is key. Because without Matt coming into my life when he did and us having these conversations and building this podcast together, I do not know if I would have ever started it. So instead of viewing him as him walking away as a loss, I'm viewing it as like that is what I needed in that season of my life. Thank you, Matt, for helping me start this and realizing how much I love it. How much I love talking about these conversations and having guests on that I've never met before. We've invited people to the studio we have never met in person. We have flown people in from all over the world. People from all over the world have flown themselves in. And like, I just am so grateful for the experiences that it's brought because I never even knew that something like this could help build a community and help me meet new people in so many interesting walks of life. So s- that's the one part I'm super grateful for starting. I started this because of Matt. And now, yeah, a lot of people are like, are you going to look for a new co-host? I could have. Definitely. But part of me is like, I feel like me doing this by myself is what I wanted to do. And a lot of times, a few people were even shocked. They're like, Matt's gone and you're still going to do this. And that gets me to the point if something's changing and you don't know how to move forward and you are unsure of what the future holds, if you love doing something, I love this so much. It feeds me, it gives me energy. I miss it when I don't have this. If you have that in your life, just because things don't go the way that you think they are going to go, and just because somebody walked away from it or gave up does not mean that you should give up or you should walk away. Please do not. It's losing something is never actually a loss. It's just a redirection to something else, another path that you're probably supposed to go on. You're supposed to walk in a way you're supposed to grow. I feel like society loves to program us that when things don't work out exactly how that they're supposed to or something ends, an ending in any way, shape, or form is not a loss, you guys. You're never actually losing. It's just a redirection. It's just, okay, I learned something from this season. Now it's time for the next season and I'm learning something. I don't know where we got this idea that all the time when it means like something's ended, it's a loss. I do not believe that at all. And moving forward too, I was like, I still don't know half the time what I'm doing the next day with this. I still don't know half the time. Like, I run into roadblocks every single time when I'm trying to do something different. I've now been in the podcasting world for a year, which I understand I'm still a baby, but I thought starting this new season wasn't going to be that hard. I was like, oh no, I got this. That was a wake-up call as well as a joke. There's always going to be learning curves, especially when things are changing, but I once again am choosing to look at it as like this is not a loss. This is a redirection. This is a redirection for both me and Matt. Matt gets to go put energy into the things that he loves, and hopefully cannot wait to see how he grows and he flourishes in those areas he's putting his energy. And now I'm putting my energy into this new version of New Wayz and this new version of me on the pod and this new version of content that I'm giving to you guys. And I can't wait to see where that takes me. And yeah, it's difficult. A lot of times learning is because you're doing it for the first time. I'm learning how to set up a studio in my apartment. I am learning how to start editing by myself. And it's so funny too, because when you just accept how things are and you try to figure it out, a lot of times things will come to you if you're open and receptive. And once again, you don't have this linear view about how things are supposed to go. It's, I don't know. I just looking back now, it's really, really funny because he's in the other room listening to me right now, but I'm going to say it like my friend Will. I have not known for that long, but I consider him one of my very dear friends. And I met him around the same time me and Matt were ending season 1. And I still didn't know where life was going to take me, but behold, Will is an amazing videographer and photographer, and was like, when I was expressing to him my concern of this upcoming season and where I want to take it, he is like, okay, I'll help you. And once again, I met this man around the same time that me and Matt were ending season 1, and he's just such a loving person and caring. And he's like, I'm not going to do things for you, but I will teach you, and I'm not going to let you pay me either. He's like, you are just going to learn because I know you can do it. And I feel extremely blessed for that. But that's also kind of another point with when you are starting something new and you need help and you're unsure. There's also the stigma too that you're not supposed to tell people what you are doing. If you need help and you are struggling, or even if it's something you're passionate about, I've found the opposite is true for me. Tell everybody, not everybody necessarily, but tell people what you are doing, especially if they're people that you trust. Because it's weird when you are vocal and honest about what you want and you are taking these steps forward to make your dreams come into fruition. Once again, I'm a firm believer that like when you're walking the path, when you are doing what you're supposed to and you're vibrating at that frequency, like you will attract things that you need to help you along the way. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but it doesn't have to be as difficult or as hard as you think it has to be. Me just being open and honest about what I want to create and asking my friends like, hey, before me and Matt were both looking for guests, so it was a little bit easier. We were both pulling from our pool of cool people and our interest. And now it's just me, so I'm hanging out with my friends and I'm like, does anybody have any cool people, good people with interesting perspectives that have whole good hearts? And I've been meeting new people through them. I've been making friends with their friends and getting more guests that way. Once again, being vocal about how I want to go and that I do need help and that I'm learning and I just want to put in the work. I have friends who are like, I will help you. Yes, things are going to be difficult. I'm not saying they're going to be easy, but it gets easier the more that you talk about it, the more that you start moving forward, and the more that you believe in yourself. And me sharing these ideas with people helps me believe in myself. Because I am extremely blessed where I have created a community where people believe in me and I believe in them. And that helps the most. But I would have never found these people if we weren't open and honest about who we are and what we want to be doing. So make sure also to you surround yourself with good people. And if you don't have good people that encourage you in your life, hate to break it to you, maybe they're not supposed to be in your life. But I'm just saying if you are starting something new and or if there's a redirection in your life, be honest about where you're at. Because if you are lying to people saying you have it all together, like you could be blocking yourself from a blessing in disguise. You could be blocking yourself from somebody being like, oh my gosh, I can actually help you. Be honest. It's okay to be learning and to be starting over again and to know like, hey, I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to figure it out. And I have faith. If you can help me, please help me. I'm going to appreciate it and I will help you also in return in any way. I don't know where we got be quiet about what you're doing. Maybe to certain people, but I love talking about what I'm doing. Also, if anything too, this might be a little bit of a toxic trait that I've developed over the ages. But in my opinion, I'm like, if I tell people what I'm going to do, oof, I have to do it. I'm not going to be over here not practicing what I preach. I'm not going to be over here just saying I was going to do something and not do it. To me, if I tell somebody else I'm going to do it, that just reinforces in me, oh my gosh, you better get going. It holds me accountable. So like, you know yourself best. Find out ways that it's going to hold you accountable. And that's how you can move forward. Also, once again, to reiterate what I kind of just said is be open and honest to new ways, to new ways of doing things and to new paths and not just having like a straight narrow mindset of how you think things should go. And if it doesn't go that way, oops, I'm going to give up, or oops, nope, I have to keep going. Accepting the path of least resistance has been so amazing in my life, and just allowing things to happen versus forcing things to happen, and just having an open mind will help you, I feel like, move forward 10 times faster. Also, to kind of end my little pep talk that I've got going here, I guess, or my just experience along with the wisdom that I learned around it, I want to tell you something that I have to remember time and time again. starting something new, having a redirection, it's not always easy. But what I remember that keeps me pushing forward is I have this thought in my mind and this idea that I want to create for a reason. I don't think that anything is ever random. And this is something creating a podcast has been in my mind for years, not just even in the first year that I started doing it. Like, I wanted to do it probably 2 years before I started doing it. I was actively looking for people and there was never a right fit. And then when I do find right fits, you do know. But I'm just saying, once again, like I said before, keep looking. But remember, like, you have this thought and this urge for a reason. And if you think you can push it down and ignore it, I don't think you can. I don't think it's going to go away. I think that you're going to be laying in your bed when you're like 75, 80, whatever, maybe even a decade from now. Who knows? But there's going to be another point in your life where you're laying down and you're like, huh, I wish I would have tried that. I wish I would have taken some steps. I'm not scared of failing anymore, because I don't think anything is a failure. I don't think anything is actually like you losing something. I think that every time you try, regardless if it's your idea of success or not, I think it's successful because you learn something regardless if you want to or not. You will always walk away probably with more information, a little bit more advanced than when you started. Nothing is ever lost. So I'm not scared of failing. I'm scared of never trying. I'm scared of waking up one day and realizing I wasted my potential. And yes, it might seem hard right now, but do you want to know what's you pick your hard, people. You can either do the hard thing right now of learning something new and saying, I'm going to persevere and push through it and find new creative ways to do things, or you can deal with the hard of waiting 5 years, 10 years, a few decades, laying in your bed, sitting, I don't know, doing something and having that thought pop up in your head, realizing, oh my gosh, I never tried in the first place. I wasted my potential. I didn't give myself an actual chance to live. And to me, that is what's hard. You pick your hard. You pick the hard now of doing the thing and learning and growing, or you pick the hard of being resentful later on in life. So if you have an idea, just try. And once again, too, like with what Matt did, Matt's not giving up. Matt is not losing. It's a redirection for him. If anything, I feel like him walking away now instills more that he loves the other stuff that he's doing. It makes him realize what's important to him. Like, nothing is ever a loss, you guys. Stop. Get that idea out of your head. I just hope that he puts more energy now that he has gained from stepping away from this into the things that he loves. And also, another point that has been super influential for me is there's a reason why this idea was planted in your head. I feel like this season I will talk a lot about confidence and authenticity and just finding a more connected and grounded and soulful life. Because the one thing that I've learned is we're all on this earth to be different and to say different things and to move differently. And we all have these thoughts in our heads. Nobody really has the same thoughts. We all have some ideas, but I feel like we all have different versions of how we want to go about things and the energy we want to bring to things. And if you have this idea in your head, it's there for a reason. You are meant to be authentically you to, once again, meet the right people for you, to create what you are actually here to create in this earth, in this world, in this time. Because nobody can do things exactly the same way as you. That's just a fact. I don't care if you want to copy other people. I don't care if you want to follow somebody else's like guidebook. Nobody can be you. It's just not possible. We don't have the power to clone people yet and like replicate exact DNA or even exact personalities or like what's going on in your brain and how your energy and your frequency. We can't do that. Nobody is you. And by you not doing what you are on this earth to do and bringing the energy that you're actually meant to bring, you are doing yourself and the world a disservice. You're hindering your power and you are preventing people from seeing the version of you that they need to see. And by not being who you are, not saying what you want to say and not doing what you want to do and just like pushing that down and saying another time it's too hard or saying, oh, it didn't work out the first time, I'm not going to try again. By you selling yourself short, you are selling not only yourself short, but everybody else. You're never going to attract the right people that you need to attract. And those people are never going to find you. And they could they probably really need you as well as the world needs you. Like whatever your message is here to say or whatever you are meant to create, chances are, once again, it's there for Nobody else can do it but you. And if you're not doing it, guess what? We're losing out. We're missing out on the beauty that you're supposed to bring, the new idea you're supposed to bring, the new product you're supposed to create. Like, I do not think that anything in this earth is random. You are not random for being here. This thought that pops up in your head that keeps annoying you and you want to do, but you're like, so many things are going on. I don't know. It's not random. Just do it. And I'm not saying that there's not going to be roadblocks. I'm not saying that it's going to be 100% easy. But when you realize why you're doing something, it gets easier. Remember, those roadblocks bring you growth. They're not stopping you. They're redirecting you into the way that you're supposed to be going. They're building you up and making you stronger. It's like a muscle at the gym. Stop thinking that just because things are hard, it's bad. Stop thinking that just because things are pushing you in another direction does not mean that it's meant to happen. If you have an idea, follow through with it. Because more than likely, I guarantee you it'll be worth it. And I'm super excited also for this season too. Because I mean, I hope I don't disappoint you in the aspect where it's like, I hope this talk doesn't go unnoticed and it doesn't go without evidence. Because you guys, I'm super excited to see where this season brings me. I am incredibly grateful and optimistic about where this is going to go. And I hope that maybe you are watching this like 10 years from now and it's gonna change. I know it's gonna change because that's the only thing that's consistent in life is change. Like, everyone's like, I want things to stay the same. The only thing that stays the same is the fact that everything changes. So I hope 10 years from now, I don't know, who knows, 20 years from now, like, why not? Let's think that I'm around forever. I don't know. Even when I'm long gone, I hope people watch this and they're like, damn. I hope you watch this and say, wow, she decided to persevere and keep going and doing this, and look what she created. Because I have nothing but faith that this is going to turn into something beautiful. I don't know what kind of beautiful thing it's going to turn into, but I have nothing but faith that it's going to turn into something incredibly beautiful and meaningful, and it's probably going to surprise me. So I really hope this episode resonated. If you guys also, too, a little heads up is I really want this to be more of like a community. Yeah, it's me talking on a mic, it's other people talking on a mic, but if you guys need some advice and you're struggling with it, can you please reach out to me and let me know? If you have some ideas that you want me to kind of dig into, or people you want me to interview and reach out to, please let me know. I want this to be as interactive as possible. I want to get to know you guys and what's the best way I can serve and the best way I can help and what's going on in this world, because it's so easy for us to also live in our own little bubbles, and I'll admit I live in a bubble. I definitely do, but share with me your thoughts, your ideas, any ways that I can help you. Kind words, honestly, mean words, I don't want them, but whatever, let's go. I'm open to absolutely anything. Let out what you need to let out. Tell me what you need to say. So thank you so much for listening. I feel extremely blessed and I'm grateful, and I am excited to see where this season takes me. Until next time, you guys, I love you.